Dear Cat Noir, my name is Maureen Perkins. I work for Perkins, 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 Perkins and Perkins. Our company is the largest conglomerate of Perkins in the region. But that's not why I'm writing to you today. You see, a few months ago, I phoned into this very show and pledged £25 to what I believed was a good old-fashioned telethon. Only it wasn't. It was a scam. A fraudulent scheme run by a man named Bill Shyster who took £42 of my hard-earned Perkins money and spent it on himself. I've not heard a word about Bill Shyster in this podcast since, and I've never been reimbursed. Well, that's the last straw, I can tell you. You've wronged this woman, and I plan to set things right. So I'm coming for you, Cat Noir, and by hook or by crook, I will be getting my money back. You can take this as a warning or a threat. I honestly don't mind which. But as God is my witness, I will be avenged. Make no mistake here, I am furious.
Maureen Perkins.
Cat Noir presents Maureen Perkins is Furious by Matt Sanders and Kevin Chilvers.
Kev,
Yes, Matt?
what do you think about marzipan?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
Sadly, I don't have a very good answer.
Oh.
To be honest, I don't really care for the stuff.
Ah.
It's all a bit too almondy for me. Why do you ask?
Well, how do you feel about advertising it on the show?
What, you mean advertising marzipan right here on the podcast?
Yep.
Well, I suppose if Twizzles ever came back and did a marzipan bar, then we could advertise that. Are Twizzles coming back?
Nope.
Oh. Don't tell me it's a new line of Woco aftershave.
Not them either.
I see. Well, presumably it's some large company who wants to pay us a lot of advertising revenue and maybe give me some free supplies.
I'm afraid not, Kev. It's just one man asking if we might grant him this simple small favour.
What?
He phoned me last night. Said he's a big fan of the show, but he'd love to hear more about marzipan, so is there any possibility we could promote it on air?
That's strange. Who was he?
Hang on, I wrote his name on my hand so I'd remember. He's called Cat Noir.
No, Matt, that's the tattoo I did for you in the Christmas special of 2022 because you kept forgetting the name of our show.
Oh yeah.
Try your other hand.
Okay. This one's written in biro.
That sounds more like it. What does it say?
His name is Umberto Billington Standwell.
I knew you were going to say that.
Really, Kev? How could you have possibly known that?
Because the day before yesterday, I also received a call from an Umberto Billington Standwell saying that he's a big fan, but he would love it if we could just do a little more to advertise marzipan.
Interesting. He must be really keen.
To be honest, I'm more concerned that you haven't washed your hands since last night.
I'll get around to it right away. I promise.
Good. In the meantime, I'm not sure what we can really do about this marzipan lark.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean that without a company name or a branding label, it's not really advertising. It would just be us telling people to eat marzipan, and that doesn't really make any sense.
Does to me, Kev.
Comes as no surprise.
I've even written a jingle.
Have you? Let's hear it then.
All right. It goes like this. Eat marzipan. It's great.
Short. To the point. I like it.
Thanks, Kev.
But what about the people who don't like marzipan?
What? Who on earth wouldn't like marzipan?
Well, me for a start. I'm sure I am not alone, which compromises your entire jingle.
How so?
Because if some people, like me, don't like marzipan and we're telling them it's great, then we're being just as deceitful as all the other people in the world who advertise things guaranteed to make you happier, but in real life don't. And that doesn't really sit right with me.
Oh yeah, good point.
Hang on, I've got it. Let's do the jingle again and I'll put a little disclaimer on the end.
Brilliant idea. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3.
Eat marzipan. It's great. Unless you don't like it.
Perfect.
That should cover us legally, if nothing else.
Then I think we're ready to go.
Brilliant then. Let's do a take and I'll record it. Great. Why do people outside always start making noise as soon as I go to record something?
Kev, is it me or is someone firing a machine gun at your house?
Certainly sounds that way, Matt. I wonder what they want.
Who are you?
And why are you destroying my home?
Maureen Perkins.
Where's Bill Shyster? Who?
Bill Shyster. Remember he was in Honk's kitchen, then he came back and did a fraudulent telethon.
I don't remember that.
That's because he distracted you with magic beans that grew into a magic beanstalk right outside my back door.
Oh yeah, the beanstalk. Whatever happened to that?
I cut it down. It blocked out far too much sun. In fact, it went right up into the clouds.
Was there a giant at the top?
No, Matt, there was no giant at the top.
Oh, that's because Bill Shyster is a scam artist. He's a fraud and a liar, and he owes me money, which I've come to get back. So I'll ask you again, where's Bill Shyster?
I've got no idea. Last time he was here, he left in a hurry through that window you just shot to pieces. I only got it fixed last week.
I knew there was something different about this room, Kev. I just couldn't quite think what.
Really? You didn't notice that the window's finally been repaired? Well, it had been repaired until Shooty McBiggun here turned up. Who are you anyway?
I'm Maureen Perkins. I work for Perkins, 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 and Perkins.
I'm starting to get tired of the Perkins gag, Matt.
Not me, Kev, though I am surprised by how much mileage we've had from it. Well, this particular appearance has nothing to do with the amount of Perkins I work for.
Which I'm fairly sure changes each time you list them.
This time, I'm here for Bill Shyster. He owes me £42, and if he doesn't pay me back, then one of you two will.
Hang on, I've got an idea. Why not check in with some of the other characters and see if they know where Bill Shyster is? And if you haven't found him by the end of today, Matt and I will reimburse you the £42 ourselves. Seem fair?
Seems fair to me, Kev.
I wasn't asking you, I was asking Maureen.
Oh, Who would you suggest I speak to?
I'd be tempted to ask one of our more sensible characters. Lead Detective Michaels, Jim Bond, Charlie's agent, or a push Danny Peaks. He always seems to know what's going on around here.
Very well. I'll tell you what, you've got until the end of today. But if I don't find Bill Shyster by sundown, I'll be coming back here for the pair of you. Why? Well, for my £42, obviously. Oh, yeah.
Keep up, Matt.
And in case either of you need a reminder of just how furious I am...
We really don't.
Here it is. Goodbye for now, and pray I don't have to come back here at sundown.
Maureen Perkins.
She's gone, Kev.
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
What? That the damage she's caused here will probably cost a lot more than £42 to repair.
There is that, but actually I was focusing more on where our characters keep getting weapons from. I thought this was a wholesome podcast.
Makes the mind boggle. Still, Maureen's standing up for herself and correcting a past injustice. I respect her for that.
Me too. What a woman.
What a woman.
Let's get back to the jingle.
Good idea.
Eat marzipan. It's great.
Unless you don't like it.
It was already afternoon. Time was running short and I was getting nowhere fast. I tried contacting Jim Bond, but that was a dead end. Quite literally. Apparently, him and Charlie are away at some place in Hamburg called the Dead End. Next on my list was a man I wouldn't have thought of calling until Kev mentioned him. I know he has a bit of a reputation as a rogue, but with everything I've heard on this podcast so far, I knew I'd be inclined to trust him. So, I phoned Danny Peaks.
Hello, Danny Peaks phone. Graham speaking.
Oh, hello. Would it be possible to speak to Daniel Peaks, please?
No, I'm sorry. He can't come at the phone right now. Well, to be quite honest with you, he's unconscious.
Oh dear. Nothing untoward, I hope.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. No. We were just getting ready to go to the pub and I thought I'd surprise him with a friendly uppercut.
Well, I'm sure he won't be pleased about that when he wakes up.
Yeah, I quite agree. But I reckon if I can get him down the pub, get the first round in before he wakes up, everything will be dandy.
I see.
I have to be quick though. Look, what can I do for you?
I'm trying to track down a man named Bill Shyster.
Bill Shyster, eh? Can't say I've ever heard of him. Does he owe you money or something?
That's right. £42 to be precise.
What? I'm surprised you haven't torn the place up with a machine gun.
That's funny you should say that. The thought had crossed my mind.
Listen, Danny's beginning to stir, so I'm going to have to go. Look, once I've got a pint in his hand, I'll ask him if he knows this Bill Shyster. If he does, I'll get him to give you a call.
Oh, what the hell's going on? Where am I?
Uh-oh. Gotta go.
Another dead end. Bill Shyster was proven to be slipperier than a shyster, I suppose. I've not got my thesaurus with me. But I did have one last call to make. A man who might actually have some sensible grip on this whole ridiculous episode. A man with a chance of leading me closer to Bill.
Hello, Lead Detective Michaels. Don't call me LLDM for short.
Oh, hello. I wonder if you could help me. My name is Maureen Perkins. I work for Perkins.
Look, I don't really need to know who you work for. What do you want?
Well, I'm looking for a man named Bill Shyster, and I wondered if you, with your detective capabilities, might be able to help.
Shyster, hey? Can't say I've heard of him, but there is someone in the area who's been behaving a little strangely of late. I'm quietly keeping an eye on him.
Oh, now that is interesting. Who are they? Male? Female? Non-binary?
Male.
Well, then that could be him. What's your lead, Detective Michaels?
A man local here has been seen buying marzipan in vast quantities. I mean exceptional amounts. Far too much marzipan for just one person.
Marzipan?
That's right. We believe he's been buying it wholesale, taking off the wrapping, rewrapping it in a sleek, fancy packaging, and selling it on for outrageously inflated prices.
That sounds utterly absurd to me.
I agree, but he's the only person I'm currently monitoring for strange behavior. Well, at least strange for this podcast.
What's his name then?
He goes by the name of Umberto Billington Stanwell, but we think that's an alias.
Uh-huh. And what's his address?
35 Dry Street Road, Close Avenue.
I know it well. I might go and have a look.
Listen, you gotta let me take the lead on this. I don't want you getting hurt. Just let me do my job.
Oh, I quite understand. I'll let you take the lead on this lead, Detective Michaels.
I see what you're doing and I ask you to stop.
I'm sorry. I'm just leading you on, lead, Detective Michaels.
Maureen Perkins.
What was that?
Never you mind. Well, I've got to go. Thanks for your time.
No, listen.
I finally had an address, and I knew in my heart it was him. Ignoring any real-life inaccuracies of a police detective giving away vital intel to a civilian like me, I was destined for 35 Drive Street Road, Close Avenue. I found you, Bill Shyster, and now I'm coming for you.
Maureen Perkins.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
What are you doing, Colin?
Well, I'm meowing, aren't I? Like a cat.
Yeah, I get that, but we're pigeons. We say coo.
Oh, I know that. I just thought I'd bring some diversity to the show. Something a little bit different. Be the cat I want to be.
Bold move for a tertiary character.
What do you mean?
I mean, I thought our role was to sit on the roof of this house cooing to establish this late afternoon on a residential street with a ridiculous name.
Yeah, well, you've just done that, so we can now get on meowing. Meow.
But we've got wings and beaks.
It's what's inside that matters, Terry.
But we're sitting on a roof.
I've seen cats sit on roofs too.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
Look out, someone's coming. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
The shadows outside were growing long. Sunset was near. I've been down Drive Street Road, Close Avenue before. In fact, it's one of the ways I use to get to work at the firm of many Perkins. Only, today, the air smelt different. Thick, heavy, and almondy. I reached a gate to a large detached house marked number 35. Next to that was a wrought iron plaque with the letters BS emblazoned upon it. Billington Stanwell my foot. In my heart, I knew that this was the house of Bill Shyster. My debt was finally going to be repaid. I pressed the intercom on the gate.
Eat marzipan. It's great. Unless you don't like it.
What utter nonsense. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life. And that's how I knew I was in the right place.
Hello, Umberto Billington Stanwell. How can I help? Well, unless you're the police or the tax officer, of course, in which case I'm not in. In fact, this is just a recording. Yeah, that'll do. Beep, beep. Russell, end the message.
If you're Umberto Billington Stanwell, then where's the U?
I told you, Chief, I'm right.
No, I mean on your gate. It only says BS. Why doesn't it say UBS?
Oh, that's quite easy, Squire. It's because it sounds a bit too much like a global delivery service. I don't want all the world's parcels coming here, do I? I simply haven't got room.
Oh, I see.
So I just go by the moniker BS. Makes things a lot easier.
Well, it certainly sounds like BS to me.
I can assure you, Chief, everything about me is complete BS. Now, what can I do for you?
I'd like to come in and have a little word with you face to face, if I may.
Well, that depends. Are you an angry citizen under the misguided apprehension that I somehow owe you money? Or have you brought me more marzipan?
Well, for the purposes of getting in, let's go with the marzipan one.
Splendid. I always need more, Chief. Ever since that advert went out, sales have been through the roof.
Well, I happen to have several bagfuls of the stuff I just don't need anymore, and I was going to take it to the charity shop.
But instead, you thought you'd give it away to old Bill, Umberto.
Exactly. In fact, you're the very person I've been looking for.
And who can blame you, Chief? It's like I've always said, why bother with charity when I'm around?
I was thinking the same thing.
Hang on then, I'll buzz you through. Just head down the path up to the house. I would offer to come out and carry the bags for you, but I can't. You see, I've got a bad back and flat feet, and gardener's woe. The fisherman's here, but I've also got Baker's gin.
Right.
I'll meet you at the front door. Come on through.
And finally, just as the sun began touching the horizon, I was in. I'd found Bill Shyster, and it was time to get my money back.
Good evening, Squire. Allow me to unburden you of all that marzipan. Oh, I'm not seeing any great big bags, just one machine gun pointed right at me.
Bill Shyster?
What? Nah, I keep telling you, Chief. I'm Umberto Billington Stanwell. It's written on my gate. Well, most of it is.
I know you're Bill Shyster.
Have we met?
You owe me money.
Look, a lot of people tell me that, Squire. You're going to have to narrow it down a bit.
You obtained money from me under fraudulent means.
Keep narrowing.
Well, a few months ago, you hosted some ridiculous telethon where you encouraged people to give away their hard-earned money for absolutely no reason at all.
Oh, yeah. I've done a few of them, though. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific, though. Which one was it in particular?
It was called the BS Foundation. It went out as a podcast.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, that was quite a profitable night, if I recall.
Well, it wasn't for me. I'm Maureen Perkins. I pledged £25, which you took as 42, and I've never seen the money again.
Maureen! What a lovely surprise. And now you've come all this way to bring me a machine gun too. How very thoughtful.
Where is my money, Bill?
I invested it, Squire. Every last penny.
Invested it?
Well, more or less. I took it to the pub, bought a mixed grill and several bottles of wine. Absolutely delicious.
I want my money back.
Or what?
Or this.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, what a mess. Whatever did I do to deserve this? You destroyed my sofa, the walls, the TV, the lights, and my Picasso. Look at that. It's completely ruined. John the Forger's going to be most upset.
Give me my money, Bill.
But I haven't got any money. I swear it.
I thought you had this lucrative marzipan business.
Oh yeah, on paper I have, but it doesn't translate to money in my pocket, does it? I mean, look at my wallet. It's completely empty, see?
I see vast amounts of £20 notes.
What? That's impossible.
Looks like about £3,000 to me.
Damn. So much for that Harry Potter invisibility spell. I spent £4 on that.
Give me my money back.
All right. How much was it again? £42? Here's 20. 40. Oh. You got change for a 20?
How about I just take it all? Let's call it interest.
That's daylight robbery. It really is. Well, sunset robbery at the very least.
You should have thought about that before trying to scam a Perkins.
What a terrible world. I'm beginning to think you didn't even bring any marzipan.
I think that concludes our business transaction for today, Bill. It's time I got going.
Wait, what did you say your name was?
I'm Maureen Perkins. Don't you ever mess with me again.
Maureen Perkins.
You have been listening to Maureen Perkins is Furious. Written, produced, recorded and edited by Matt Sanders and Kevin Chilvers. Promotional material by Laurie Stone. If you enjoyed this episode, then give us a like, follow and subscribe wherever you heard us, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Cat Noir Podcast. Join us again next time for a brand new story. Bye!
At least leave the marzipan.